Aha is Norway's most famous export, but is the band worthy of a documentary? Find out on this episode of CD Junkie.
New from K-Tel Records, 22 explosive hits.
Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I'm going to be talking about the brand new documentary called Aha, the Movie, that focuses on the Norwegian pop band. Now, here's the thing about Aha. Obviously, we all know Take On Me. That was a huge hit. That's obviously their best known song around the world. Here in the U.S., it's definitely their biggest song. They may have had a couple minor hits in America, but unfortunately, I believe that most Americans look at Aha as a one-hit wonder. So when they see that there's a documentary out on Aha, they probably wonder, what is there to say? But let me tell you, there's an awful lot to say about Aha. First off, they're not really a one-hit wonder. Maybe that's their most popular song here in the U.S., but they have a catalog that is so rich in just wonderful, deep, arresting, melodic music that may surprise those of you who are only familiar with Take On Me. Now, just real quick before I talk about the documentary, I'm just going to show you the albums. Of course, this is CD Junkie. This is Hunting High and Low, the deluxe edition. There's also a 4-disc box set version of that. That album came out in 1985. Then they follow that up with the even better Scoundrel Days from 1986. This is definitely one of my favorite Aha albums. That's also a deluxe edition. Stay on These Roads came out in 1988. Title track on this, one of my favorite Aha songs of all time. East of the Sun, West of the Moon. Many of my favorite Aha songs are on this album. That came out in 1990. Memorial Beach came out in 1993, and I have to say, this is not even close to my favorite Aha album. It's a dark album, not as immediately melodic. There are some great songs on this album, but the best song from this period was a song called Shapes That Go Together, which was not on the album. But it's still a worthy addition to your Aha collection, but just not the first one that I would buy. They split up for several years, but reunited, and they came back with Minor Earth, Major Sky in the year 2000. Lifelines followed in the year 2002. Analog came out in 2005. Foot of the Mountain came out in 2009. And it took another 6 years for them to put out Cast in Steel in 2015. They have a brand new album coming out in October of 2022, I believe. There's a lot of great Aha compilations out there on the market. This is probably my favorite. It's called Aha 25, and it's a 2 CD plus 1 DVD set. Loads of great songs on there. But now let's talk about the movie. Now, Aha were way more than Take On Me. In fact, you're going to find out a lot of interesting things. Sure, there was a period there where they were advertised as like, teen idols or, cutesy pop stars. And let's face it, every guy in the world wants to look and sound like Morten Harket. And every girl in the world wants every guy in the world to look and sound like Morten Harket. But there's so much depth to their music. Paul and Magna were the band's main songwriters. And, for years I always thought, like, God, how do they feel about, Morten being out there in front and them sort of being cast in the shadows. And according to the documentary, they were totally fine with it. But to see this documentary, the way it's laid out, you see that there are 3 completely different types of people, but they all come together for this one cause, and that's to create this great, fantastic music. I love how the movie is formatted. You'll see classic film footage of them or classic interviews, behind the scenes things from the 80s or the 90s, and then it'll cut to something more modern. It just shows the band members separately how they are dealing with the whole Aha experience today. Now, in the U.S., Aha, like I said, are a one-hit wonder. Around the world, they're still huge. They're still selling out arenas, and they still matter to a whole lot of people. Now, this is not a documentary that you just put on in the background and listen to while you do your work or clean the house, whatever. You have to watch this. Through most of this, they are speaking Norwegian, so there are subtitles, so you have to pay attention. But it's interesting. Maybe if you jumped into this documentary midway or just saw the footage from now, you'd think like, oh, these guys are, arrogant old fucks. But no, not at all. They are just 3 individuals who have dealt with fame, fortune, the ups and downs, and they really come off as just confident but down-to-earth guys. the kind of guys that I may want to sit down to talk to, but of course they wouldn't want to talk to me. But the music throughout is incredible. The insights into making each of the albums is real eye-opening, because I've been listening to their music for many, many years, but I've never really read too many interviews or anything about the band. So having this played out in such a way where it's a back and forth, the highs, the lows, the tempers, and you realize that these guys are not super close friends. In fact, after their concerts, they each have their own limo to take them away. That's just what happens when three guys have to deal with so much fame, so much pressure. And like I said, it's really fascinating. You know, now I understand the ideas behind some of the albums and their dedication to the cause of creating this music. There's been a few times where all the members have walked away from Aha and laid it to rest, and 5 years later they're back again, because that beast, that desire to create music and to share it with everyone, it just calls them right back. Anybody who loves documentaries should really definitely check this out. Even if you're not an Aha fan, you will walk away with a lot of respect and appreciation for what the band has gone through and why they keep creating this wonderful music. Like I said, if you've only heard Take On Me, go buy a greatest hits, go buy a best of, dig into the band. There's so much depth, so much emotion, so much creativity in their music. I totally recommend this to people who are fans, to people who are curious, to people who love music documentaries. It is thoroughly entertaining from beginning to end. Now, this is the DVD version. I believe there's also a Blu-ray. The DVD does have a few bonus features. Definitely check out Aha the Movie. Highly recommended. It's not all happiness and jazz hands. It's really a fascinating watch and listen, because you get to hear so many pieces of so many great Aha songs. Definitely check it out. That's it. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.